Hello and welcome to Travel Diary. I'm Sharjeel Shahid. Today we're in the high valleys of northern Pakistan, the pines and rivers moving like a slow orchestra. With me, briefly, is Abdallah Bilal, who knows these trails well. Abdallah, quick hello?
Let's start with a sound that changed my night once. I was half asleep in my tent, dark around me, when a single, low, metallic chime floated up the ridge, like a bell, but slower. I sat up, heart skipping, and within 10 minutes we were packing. That bell wasn't a tourist tune. It was a tethered donkey moving down a trail toward a shepherded campsite, and beyond him came the soft rush of water, and crucially, a spot with fewer rocks and better shelter. That little sound redirected our whole plan. Listening saved us a cold, windy night.
What you'll get in the next 5 minutes: 3 safety sounds to recognize, 2 etiquette rules to keep you welcome, and a tiny sound sense checklist you can carry in your head. If you hike with your ears open, the mountains will tell you where to go and when to be quiet.
Section 1. Read the land in the life. First, water. Running water has textures. A thin, tinkling stream often means shallow, rocky flow, good to cross but poor for pitching a tent right on its bank. A deeper, muffled roar usually signals a larger river or gorge downstream. If you can hear that roar clearly at night, it's probably close. If it's softened and breathy, it's further away. Use that to judge distance when visibility is low. When you hear a steady, broad flow, look for flatter terraces upstream for camping. Higher banks keep you safe from sudden rises after rain.
And add the animal cues. Goat bells mean a nearby settlement or a shepherd on a path, usually daytime traffic. The rhythm of pack animals is different from wild animals, regular human-controlled steps with bell clinks, which tells you there's human activity nearby. That helps you decide whether to knock on a door for water or simply keep moving.
Listen for machinery, too. A distant jeep engine that sputters and fades means a rough, seasonal track, useful if you want a ride or need to find a road. But the sharper, repeated clang of metal is often local work like winnowing or lumber, telltale of villages that might be farther than you think, especially if the sound echoes in a valley and seems to move with the wind.
Section 2. Weather and warning sounds. The mountains give early cues. Thunder far off but growing sharper is your first red flag. Storms can rise quickly in these ranges. Rockfall has a distinct pattern. A single quick crack followed by high metallic clinks as stones bounce. If you hear that, move away from steep cliffs and the base of slopes. Avalanches and icefalls speak differently. A low, sustained rumble or a sudden hollow whoosh. If you hear anything like that, put distance between yourself and the slope and head for open ground.
A practical tip. When a sound worries you, don't rely on hearing alone. Pair it with a look at the sky, check your map, and, if possible, ask a local. Listening is powerful, but it's a tool to use with others, never a replacement for local knowledge.
Section 3. Quiet and courtesy. Sound is part navigation, part conversation with people who live here. Always ask before you record villagers or performances. A simple approach: introduce yourself, explain you're making notes for a travel diary, and offer to share the clip or a photo later. If someone hesitates, take notes instead of audio. That's respectful and keeps trust. At festivals or prayers, keep a low volume. Even well-meaning loud music or amplified speech can disrupt wildlife and local routines.
Now the sound sense checklist. Memorize this tiny card in your head. 3 safety sounds: running water texture, rockfall crack, and sustained low rumble, ice/avalanche. 2 etiquette cues: always ask before recording and lower volume near villages and festivals. 2 quick actions: pair ears with map/local advice and move conservatively if a warning sound grows. Say it once to yourself before a hike: water, crack, rumble. Ask, quiet, map, move.
I run that in my head before every trip. It's small, but it changes how you react, and it means you're less likely to disturb people who call those valleys home.
A closing micro-story. Once, following the sound sense rules, we heard a hollow thunder, then a distant bell. We paused, asked a shepherd nearby about the bells, and learned they were moving stock away from a slope the locals thought unstable that afternoon. 10 minutes later, a rockfall we would have been near came down where we had been planning to camp. Listening redirected us and kept us safe.
If you want a download to pin in your pocket, visit the Travel Dairy site. There's a printable sound sense card and 3 short listening exercises you can practice before your next hike. The card has the 3 safety sounds and 2 etiquette reminders, plus a checkbox for pairing with maps and locals. It's free and designed for quick review at trailheads.
Thanks for listening. If this episode helped you hear the mountains differently, please subscribe to Travel Dairy so you don't miss short practical guides like this. We'll be back with more valley stories and trail tools. Safe travels and keep your ears open. Goodbye for now.